Hey, it's JC1424 once again with another album review, and today we're going to be talking about VERITAS, the new album from P.O.D, released on May 3rd, 2024. My birthday. I turned 26 on that day, so something's speaking to me here, making me want to review this album, even though I have not done so in a year and a half. But for once, I actually felt an impulse to do an album review, and that's all I really wanted to have, not be making myself do it. The last time I did an album review for P.O.D was in 2018, so that was 6 years ago. I was 20 years old. I am 26 now. Oh my god. And I don't recall liking that album very much, but if you want to watch that review, there's a little link in the top right. Hopefully that still shows up. But track 1 of this album is Drop, featuring Randy Blythe, or Blythe. I don't know how it's pronounced, but he sings for Lamb of God, which explains why this is the most metal that P.O.D has ever sounded. They still sound like themselves in the verses, with the signature relaxed bass tone, of course. Everywhere else, the instrumental is as dark and deadly as you would expect from Lamb of God. But this really is just a rebellious hype song. Drop, 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 drop. Now, track 2 is I Got That. It was the lead single, and from what I can tell, raps a lot about positive energy. They try to make it sound so badass and hardcore. These chords are just too heavy and can be mildly uninteresting, in my opinion. Now, the reggae on this album is so peeled back compared to the previous one that those parts wind up adding needed character in this one instead of becoming just oversaturated or something.
Roll through, we all feeling it too, and ain't nobody gonna get in the way. It's all good, all hood. I wish somebody would step back and let the band play. We got that underground original, nothing to prove. Southtown don't play around, they gon' signature groove.
The third song is Afraid to Die, featuring Ginger, and things finally start to get dynamic here. It is a powerful anthem with some peaceful moments. I think the hook is solid. The melody ties what is a decent song together with a bow, and it's got a comforting message of the strength gained from friendship, something I can recently relate to because of my friends, KG, What If, and there's also Dale, Cade, McBlam.
Nobody gets out alive, alive. Nobody gets out alive, alive. We ain't afraid to die.
And then the fourth song on this album is another banger called Dead Right. And there's a price to having to be right about everything. I suppose ignorance, the lack of humility. The structure of this song is some really enticing stuff. It's fast and aggressive, then slow and melodic. The album continues to build momentum by throwing in a little guitar solo, and it even has this punk rock trope of just being quick to the point. Track 5 is Breaking, and this was easily my favorite song of the entire album, albeit its simplicity. It makes up for that with a ferocious chorus and a sonically brilliant bridge. Now, from what I can tell, this is a third-person song with pity for people selling their souls. But there are just multiple instances where the guitar just sounds so cool in between everything. And then track 6 is Lay Me Down, Rue's song. I did a little bit of extra research for this one just to get a further understanding of where that name comes from and what the purpose for the song was. It was written in memory of Rue Bublitz, a P.O.D super fan who battled a heart defect, I think 3 years ago, is whenever he lost his life. But likewise, this is an expression of acceptance and finding spiritual content. The guitar comes off crisp in the verses, and although the chorus gets swallowed up by the chords a bit, it is beautiful. Song number 7 is I Won't Bow Down. Are we making Breaking Benjamin references right now? I don't freaking know. But it's a fun song with some cool bars and the clickety-clack shit on the drums. The vocal delivery during the chorus comes with a slight harmony, and it is perfect. The meaning is straightforward. It's all ambitious. I mean, you can hear that in the name of the song. It is sold short by building up to something amazing and then going nowhere. It almost sounds shortened, as if like there's a longer version of the song that actually goes somewhere. Instead, this is like a radio version of an already short song.
Ain't no doubt you better go all out. When your heart starts racing, your body shaking, you only get one shot, so you got to take it. The pain today is power tomorrow.
Track 8, This Is My Life, featuring Cove Reber, the recently united lead vocalist of Salzin. I wanted to say that I'd never heard of this artist, and then I realized I knew a song by them from MX vs. ATV Untamed, which I played a lot on the PSP, which the game is pretty good at first, and then it starts to get really difficult. Anyhow, these two singers, they work together as well as 311, which, you know, P.O.D. and 311 have a little bit in common genre-wise, but the music is just a bit harder, of course. It's a clear-minded song. It's about being a pillar on your own in some ways. The distortion makes things sound a little dirty, and the bridge is mildly suspenseful. But again, the song just doesn't go anywhere.
You only get one life to live, 'cause if you don't, then they'll take it away. Look at me now, I will never quit. This is your world, my life. Your world, but it's my life.
Track 9, Lies We Tell Ourselves. The actual material is great, but there also isn't much else there. A song should not go through its chorus 4 times in the span of 3.5 minutes. Part of that is because it starts with the chorus. The chord progression and melodies sound awfully familiar, like some deep cuts from fucking, I don't know, Green Day, like modern Green Day. Now, don't get me wrong, though. The layer of happiness over everyone's depression concept and theme is truly wholesome.
I don't care, but this is what they say. It's gotta be true if they say so.
And the second to last song on this album is track 10, We Are One, Our Struggle. It's a more solid composition on this album than a few other songs. Sonny's rap inflection here oddly reminds me of Fred Durst, like in that song Break Stuff, in which that is like Sonny's like favorite nu metal hit from what I heard in some random video I found. But as well written these verses are, the chorus is rather underwritten with its OOOs, because there's 2 of those in each chorus, and there's 3 choruses, so that's 6 times. And this is about union and rebellion. All 6 of those, they could have been like fan-made lyrics or something, get their fans in on the making of the song and, you know, unite people, instead of just like phoning in and not like finding something to like change up the song and help it evolve. The album is called Veritas. That's 3 syllables. It could have been saying Veritas in the chorus, which that would have been weird, but I don't know. Something about the song irks me, and just saying oh again and again.
So when is enough? Tomorrow isn't promised, so today we coming up. This is our struggle. We are one.
But track 11, Feeling Strange, is my second favorite song on this album. And it must be said, bonus points for a strong ending. The guitar line is beautiful, the riff sounds badass, and even the solo is completely satisfactory. There's a nice mixture of synthetic and organic percussion here, and then I commend them for making an album that's got a theme of truth and reality into with the song, acknowledging how feelings for people can change over time. Because we all get delusional at some points in the head, and then that becomes difficult to comprehend. But my final score for the new album Veritas by P.O.D, released on May 3rd, 2024, is an 86%, which is a solid B. I think I enjoyed this album overall more than Circles, but there's no song on here that I like more than the single from that album, Listening for the Silence. But the beginning of this album is kind of eh. It picks up really quick for maybe 10 minutes or so. The back half just isn't all that exciting until this last song. I would say if I took Breaking and Feeling Strange from this album and then put that up against Listening for the Silence on Circles, I'd wind up picking this album. But if you give me like a 5-minute drive, then yeah, I guess I'd probably wind up picking that one. See you next time. That's that. And album review over.